Israel. Shalom. It's Brother Baruch from New Lion Congregation of Israel coming back with a short lesson through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. And give all honor and glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shem Shai. Alright, coming back once again with a short Sunday lesson, man. Right, this lesson is renew your mind, change your mind. This is Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. And that the Bible says, and that knowing the time, and that so like I got a call. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. It says that it's high time to awake out of sleep, right? Guess what? We don't need to be sleep right now. Every day that the Most High God gives you grace, you need to be trying to hate sin. You need to be trying to renew your mind. You need to be trying to do things that please Him and not the eyes of men. Right? Let's get Romans chapter 12 and verse 2 right quick. It's Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what that is good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. So it tells us not to be conformed to the ways of this world. Why is the Lord telling us to not be conformed with this wicked world? Because this place is going to be destroyed. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul, and be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. So we got to come out of the ways of thinking and walking like this place is, because why? This place is going to be destroyed. You think you think like a Babylonian, you're gonna get destroyed like a Babylonian. So we need to stop walking. I mean, when you think like the nations, what are you gonna do? You're gonna walk like the nation. This is why it's important and key that we need to be remembering this. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 23. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation, which I cast out before you. For they commit all these things, therefore I abhor them. So the Lord told us that we don't need to walk. So when you begin to renew your mind, don't go back and start walking and thinking how the nations want you to think. Why? Because they know that the Most High God abhors them. And what are we? We're God's chosen people. So He wants us to, guess what? They want us, guess what, to walk in their wicked ways. Why? Because it's gonna keep us in sin, right? But we need to start doing this in these last days more and more, as these things are being kicked off, man. As these things that we're seeing around the world are kicking off, man. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. These last days, don't start thinking for yourself. Don't start trying to move out of your own spirit. Trust in the Lord, man. And in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy path. See, He's going to be the one that's going to guide your mind in these last days. You're not going to be out here doing God knows what, man. All right, the Lord's gonna guide your mind, but what do he say? You have to trust him. All right, let's get Colossians chapter 3 and verse 2. Let's get Colossians 3 verse 2. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. So when you will start renewing your mind as an Israelite, guess what? You're gonna start setting your mind on heavenly things, right? Because these things that's carnal on this earth can't help us get to the kingdom. All right? Driving a Hellcat can't help you get to the kingdom, right? Getting the biggest watch can't help you get to the kingdom. You know? Doing all these things like that can't help you get to the kingdom. Renewing your mind can help you get to the kingdom, though. Right? We're going to prove that. Right? I only get that out the mouth of Christ. Or Yahweh Shai HaMashiach in the Hebrew tongue. He said, except you be as. Yeah. This is Matthew chapter 19. Let me see. It says, Matthew chapter 19, verse 13. Then there were brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked them. And Yahushua said, suffer little children, and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. Wait, I want to get that one. It says, except you be as little children, you shall not see the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 18, not 19, 18. Let's go. It's Matthew chapter 18. We're going to start at verse 1. It's all about renewing your mind, changing your mind. All right? Matthew chapter 18 and verse 1. And at that same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them. And he said, verily, verily, I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So, you got to think. A little kid, he said, you got to think. He said, except ye be converted to what? The laws of God. We're going to get that. But the point, it says, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. You have to change your mind. You have to learn again. Because everything that we've been taught to think, taught to know, has been wrong. Right? That's why he says that we have to come as kids. What? We have to be taught again from our youth up. And what do we have to be converted to? This is Psalm chapter 19 and verse 7. It says, the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. You got to think. It says the law of the Lord is perfect. Everything that's written in the laws of the Most High God is perfect. It says it's converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. It'll make a simple person wise, man. Right? So you must think again. You must be born again. Your mind must be renewed again. You can't go into your mother's womb 2 times, right? Your mind must be renewed, right? And let's get this last one. It's Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 26. That he might sanctify it and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word. Let this word every day renew your mind, right? Let the Lord renew your mind every day, right? Let the Lord renew your mind every day, man. I pray this lesson right here was edifying through the Spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And give all honor and glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shemel Shai. Shalom.